Good afternoon. Lovely afternoon here. A bit windy. Had a walk earlier. Got the rosary done, the Chaplet of Mercy. Mind you, there was a bit of a wind out. You'd think it was a gale, but then it eased off. And I cut the grass there with my ride-on mower. Mind you, I had to empty it about 4 times. Only you think, I only cut it last week. I don't know where the grass, how it grows so quick. I don't think there was any rain because the weather's been lovely. Down in Rosslare, it was lovely. But anyway, the title of this video is music. Now, music takes many forms, doesn't it? There used to be a programme on the BBC. Music used to be on at about 3 to half 3. Music while you work. And it was nice music. Kind of uplifting music. That type. And then music while you work. And then there was Mantovani. He used to play on the BBC, on the radio. Mantovani. Beautiful music. Oh, do your heart good. Lovely music. Mantovani. Some of you might remember him. I haven't heard a word about him for years, but I remember him. And you remember Billy Cotton on a Sunday? Wakey Wakey. Half an hour, and it was kind of jolly, but it was good music in a band. Billy Cotton Band Show. On a Sunday. And then there was Victor Sylvester. I heard him playing in Dublin in a ballroom. It's lovely, lovely music. But he used to play on the radio for troops overseas, and they used to mention the sort of whatever it was, and there was a litany. But his music was lovely, and this is for so he'd say, Victor Sylvester. And another fella that sang on the radio when I worked in London in the 60s. And television, by the way. Excuse me. Yeah, 6th floor. Producers, directors, you name it. Anyways. Victor Sylvester. And there was Gilbert and Sullivan. Lovely music. Kind of singing, but uplifting and very popular. Still popular. People go to it. Gilbert and Sullivan. Yeah. And then hotels. When I was doing my videos, and I was very fortunate that I got the okay from a very nice chap in the hotel that I was doing it in, but there was music. And the kind of what I call jittery music. In other words, it doesn't soothe the soul or the spirit. I often think it'd be very wise to sort of play some sort of classical type music, or like the Mantovani, and great lovely music that seemed to be the feature years ago. Bob Dooley, he used to sing. I heard him when I was working in London. I was in the television, and then I was at Book and Clark on the London Underground. Got to know all the stations. And it was as quick as a flash putting out the change. That was the good old days. I believe they're gone away now. You have to figure out where you're going yourself. You can't ask anybody. There's nobody to ask. You don't know what they're at. And here we had Joe Lynch. Living with Lynch was called. He'd sing a song, and it was a kind of a comedy. And then we had other ones. Lovely music. And then there was a fella from Tipperary, and he used to play beautiful music. Can't think of his name. We used to play classical music. That's the sort of music that I often think hotels and places like that should play. Not the sort of old rubbish that sometimes is played. It doesn't do anything for the spirit or lift you. You know the way when you hear lovely music, you stop. You hear Geely's. Well, here, that chap that sings, he's blind, and he sings Ave Maria, and he sings all sorts of lovely songs. And of course, I had to listen on the internet to Father Sidney McCune. He sings Be still and know that I am God, and he sings Flowers of the May. I had to put him on this evening. I love that, the Flowers of the May. It used to be always a feature years ago. I don't think I'd hear it now on the radio, but if I've had to do it, the Christian TV, and it's establishing my lifetime, which I hope it will be. And I feel I've done my duty. You can feel that. Not that you're wearing a uniform, but you're doing what the Holy Spirit's prompted you. So that's what I say about music. There's a lot to be saying about it. And beautiful music. And then don't forget the sacred music. What about that? I didn't touch on that, did I? But it was beautiful music. Who's this the blind singer is? And it's funny when you're talking, I know the name. I did listen to him. I have some of his records, or some of his CDs, shall we say, not records. They're gone out with the ark. That's what was featured in my young days, record players. But it was nice music on the radio. And to say, and at night time there used to be the hospital sweepstake. It's a fella called Ian Priestley Mitchell. He had a melodious voice. If you want to wish upon a star, he'd come out with. This is the hospital sweepstake. It's gone now, but it was a great source of income for hospitals when they didn't have that much money, and it was run by Sisters of Mercy, and Sisters of Charity did a great job. But they don't get thanks from the secular crowd, you know yourself. Who gets thanks from them? They're gone astray. So I don't think they'd be listening to classical music. Because if you're listening to classical sacred music, you're as happy as Larry. So I'll be doing another one about music because I've already touched on it. And I might sing a little tune myself. Just to sort of get in the spirit of the thing, isn't that right? So music, I hope it rang a bell for some of you. Those lovely musics. And I mightn't have touched on other ones. There's other ones I have to think about. Billy Cotton. It used to be, we used to enjoy him, and I was already living with Lynch. We were spoiled for choice in comedies. And I mean comedies, proper comedies. Jimmy O'Day and Maureen Potter. What a great, it was clean. Nothing vulgar about it like you have now. So listen here, have a good day, and I might do another one before the day is out. I'm in the mood. That was another one. Who used to do that? Joe Loss, In the Mood. There's another lovely band. Just forgot about him, do you see? Anyways, I'll be doing more about music. Bye now. Have a good day. Don't forget your prayers. Number one. Everything else is just whatever it is. But that's prayers, it's upstairs. Bye now.